Hi, hello everyone. This is Nikhil Marwa. I'll keep my satsang very short and sweet, and I'll be covering my journey in two parts. First, when Guruji was in his physical form, and second, when Guruji left the Chola and he's today in his astral form. So, I was introduced to Guruji by way of my parents, and my first encounter with Guruji was a divine experience. I saw Guruji Maharaj sitting on his gaddi, wearing a chola, which was like a Sikh warrior attire, and Mrs. Menaka Gandhi was pressing his feet, who is today the chairperson of PFA. But back then, I saw her pressing Guruji's feet, and I just sat and I listened to the Shabad, ate the langar, and then left. I was all of 14 years back then in 2002 and 2003. That's when my journey started. And while my parents would go very regularly, I would accompany them periodically whenever I would come early from school, or if they were kind enough to take me with them. My journey continued, and I would see a lot of people with credible backgrounds, such as Mr. Arun Shori. I saw Mr. Navjot Singh Sidhu, and many more. Uh, but one thing which stood out was that Guruji always called people by as uncle and auntie. Then he never referred to anyone with their first or second name. So that was the first thing which I observed, and it stuck with me for a very long time. Next, as a 14-year-old, it was relatively easy for me to accept Guruji as the divine God because I was fairly young. Very often, I would eagerly wait for my mother to return from Guruji's satsang and tell me all about it. I still remember my mom came back one day and narrated Jetra Uncle's satsang. Um, she would also narrate Mr. Arun and Seema Auntie's satsang. Sorry. One instance, my mom told me about a satsang about Mr. Arun uncle. I was in home. She had just visited Empire State and she came back. Um, and it was about Mr. Arun uncle's young son who was about to appear for his exam. And a day before he was supposed to appear for his exam, he visited Guruji in Empire State. And Guruji very joyfully asked him to memorize certain chapters in economics. And this young boy was startled to know that Guruji actually understood economics. So he was very taken aback that, hey, okay, Guruji can converse in English, he knows economics. Uh, he eventually went on to score 90 marks. That was the satsang. And when my mom narrated this to me, I felt jubilated. I felt very inspired, and I thought that, I'm not a very good student myself, and I should leverage on Guruji's superpowers during my secondary board exams when I was in class 10. As time went by, I appeared for my class 10 exams, and I remember I was not very good in French, because in class 10, they started teaching us verbs, and I couldn't get a grasp of it. Um, and out of 100 marks, I literally attempted only 33 marks. And on the rest of the paper, I just copied the questions. On the very top right far corner, I had written Jai Guruji, Jai Guruji, Jai Guruji. I wrote that on all the papers, and then I just submitted my paper and came back. Soon it was time for the results to appear, and we had this Guruji's heavenly and godly swaroop. We still have it with us, and it was handed to my mom by one Mr. Colonel when she used to go to Empire State. I looked at that swaroop, and I was bereft of happiness and positivity because I was very sure that I would flunk. I had only attempted worth 33 marks, and rest of it I had just copied the questions. But I inherently had this realization that everything is possible in Guruji's world, and I really believed that Guruji was God. So when the results came out, I scored about 70 marks, and I was jubilated because that was, I think, the third highest I got among all the subjects. So that was a very surreal experience for me. I would often accompany my parents, and I would sit, and whenever I would look up at Guruji, it would appear as if he's looking at you. But his aura and presence was so magnanimous that, it was very difficult for you to approach him and ask him anything. You needed a lot of courage to just walk up to him and speak to him. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that who were present and visited him when he was in his physical form. My journey continued, and I managed to establish a very deep rooted connection with him because he never gave any sermons. कोई उपदेश नहीं देते थे. I never heard in my entire journey. I heard Guruji speak possibly 2 or 3 times. Once my mom introduced my grandmother, and he said कि ये तेरी सस नहीं सहेली है, सेवा कितना कर. Then once my mom introduced me, I still remember that Guruji was sitting on a chola, wearing a red chola. I think I was in class 10, and in my mind I was continuously telling Guruji one on one, just a child, like a jovial child. I was telling him that don't let out my secrets, don't let out my secrets to my mom. And the moment I touched his feet, he took his feet back, so he didn't let me touch his feet. He kept smiling. Years later, I heard Narinder Uncle's satsang in which he told that, Guruji had once told him that it takes close to 200 births before Guruji actually allows someone to touch his body. Um, and so this was always something in the back of my mind that I couldn't touch Guruji's feet in his physical form. Then my journey kept moving forward, and my mom would on numerous occasions bring Guruji's blessed lockets, and I would wear them. As a child, I would wish very trivial things by way of the locket, and they would strangely come true. Now I'm going to touch upon the following time period in which Guruji left his chola and today continues to exist in his astral, formless, shapeless, Nirakar roop. After Guruji left his chola in 2012, I had a dream in which I saw Guruji sitting in a gaddi in a mountainous region, which was barren. In the dream, I saw two individuals who appeared to be belonging to the lower realm of society. They appeared to be thieves. They both killed each other in front of Guruji in my presence, and he did nothing. Suddenly, I see that Guruji started sucking black blood from my left hand's wrist. So my mom again got startled. She again appeared in my dream and asked Guruji, "What is he doing?" And he responded by saying that मैं आपके बच्चे का कल्याण कर रहा हूँ in Punjabi. And then he started walking, and then I started chasing him. Because again I wanted to touch his feet, and eventually I did touch his feet, and that's when my lotus when I touched his lotus feet, that's when my dream broke. Um, there's another uh, very a dream of a significance which I would like to speak about. My In this dream, I was playing cricket, and when it was my turn to start batting, I went inside a room to take out a bat, like a cricket bat, and the entire cricket bat was very damp and wet. पूरा गीला था. तो जैसे ही वो गीला बैट लेके बाहर आया, uh, I started playing, and cut to I can now see Guruji. I'm talking to Guruji on the phone, and he's wearing a yellow chola. I remember this very vividly. And as I'm walking down the staircase in Gurgaon and Cyber City, I pause and I ask him. Uh, Actually, Guruji apologizes. So he apologizes and he says that, I'm really sorry कि तेरा बैट गीला था. सो आई स्टॉप गुरुजी एंड आई से इन हिंदी, गुरुजी इसमें आपकी क्या गलती है, आपको थोड़ी पता था कि मेरा बैट गीला होगा. सो गुरुजी रिस्पॉन्ड्स बाय सेइंग दैट कि इन पंजाबी चेस्ट पंजाबी की गल करता है, ईश्वर नु सब पता होता है. सो आई फेल्ट आई इमीडिएटली रिस्पॉन्डेड बाय सेइंग, ओ सॉरी गुरुजी, सॉरी सॉरी, आप तो साक्षात भगवान हो. देन आई आस्क्ड, कैन आई आस्क यू अ क्वेश्चन? And Guruji paused for a brief interim period, and then he said, uh, "Puch," as in ask. I asked him, "Why did some people have the honor of meeting you in his physical form, and others today have met you in your formless and shapeless form. So why did some people actually have the honor of meeting you in person versus some of us who couldn't meet him in his physical form? To which Guruji responded in Sanskrit in 3 words, and that interpretation of that 3 words was that मेरे लिए सारी आत्माएं एक बराबर है. So that gave me the answer, uh, which I had in my mind. There are 3 things that I've learned from Guruji, and I believe that I should tell that to everyone. I always keep chanting his mantra, which my mom had narrated a while back. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivji Sada Sai, Om Namah Shivaya, Guruji Sada Sai. I also firmly believe to do good and not miss an opportunity of being virtuous and righteous. So just donate whatever we can secretly. And last, I remember Guruji never gave any sermons. So, one needs to establish a direct one-to-one connection with him and not fall prey to any scams or anything like that. Uh, one my mother is prompting me. There's one small satsang before I conclude. In this satsang, I remember that I had got this huge yellow chola of Guruji Maharaj uh, but I got the Swaroop from Bade Mandir and I got it framed. And we were thinking of trying to evaluate where exactly can we put that Swaroop in the house. So I just took the Swaroop and put it on the bed for a day so that the carpenter could come the other day and then find a spot and put it. So during the night, suddenly I got up to go to the restroom, uh, and I saw that Guruji is emerging from that Swaroop, and I know that when I say these things, for a lot of people it might appear very vague, but this actually happened. I saw that Guruji took out his neck from the Swaroop, and he twisted his neck left and right. And I got taken aback and I got scared and I left the room and I came back. I thought that, hey, am I hallucinating or is it real? Then I went back again. Um, I used the restroom and I stepped out. Again, I saw that, I could feel Guruji's presence. So the moment I came out, I saw someone, I felt a tap on my shoulder. And when I turned back, I could see that uh, there was this rose smell in the entire room. This was the fragrance that, there's a very strong fragrance I had only experienced when I used to go as a child to Empire Estate. So that is also a very big satsang for me and my family. Jai Guruji, everyone, and thank you for your time. Over to you, Karan uncle. Thank you.